Counter-Strike investing is an absolute goldmine, but there's thousands of items to choose from and returns differ greatly. Today, I'm going to cover the top 5 best performing types of items in the game right now and how you could take advantage of them. Feel free to skip around as the video is timestamped as well. Starting with the Operation skins and OG Collection skins. These types of skins have taken off over the past week. Even the past 24 hours, we're seeing double-digit gains. When it comes to supply, these skins are pretty rare. Only around 15,000 AK hydroponics exist, for example, and the only way to get a skin like this was by receiving it as an in-game drop almost a decade ago, or of course, trading up to it, but that's a gamble and very expensive to do. Same goes with Operation skins. In-game for a relatively short period of time, like the Op Gungnir, only around 3,400 of these exist in game, and the only way to get one of these is through trade-ups now. They're a solid investment so far, up 20% in just the past 30 days, and much more since their initial release. These skins will always be expensive and increase in price as long as CS2's player count continues to maintain its strong level. There simply isn't enough supply for everyone that wants one. But on the same note, they can't become like Cato 14 hollows and worth like 50 grand plus in my eyes. They're not consumable items, and there's always going to be people taking profit when we have massive gains. Just look at the Gold Arabesque for example. Sure, the recent 2x in price might seem great, but it was at even higher prices during the initial CS2 hype, so you do have to be careful with these high tier skins. Although they don't move around inventories much, when prices are going up 8% in a day, they can come down just as quick.
This video is sponsored by Skins Monkey. If you've been looking to trade out your old boring skins for new ones, Skins Monkey is the place. By clicking the link in the description, you'll get a 35% deposit bonus when depositing with cash and crypto, and up to a free $5 bonus on your first trade. So be sure to click that link. Skins Monkey also has the freebies tab where they run 24/7 giveaways that are completely free to join with crazy skins. And if you're looking to actually get your hands on some good skins, Skins Monkey is the quickest way to do it. So be sure to get that free $5 and 35% deposit bonus now, trading your CSGO skins with that link at the top of the description.
At number 4, high tier skins. These overlap a bit with our first category, but they have very different price action in some cases. For example, the field tested Dragon Lore, worth around $7,200 today. You'll note that unlike almost all of the other skins in this video, when high tier skins pump, it's not nearly as much as your Dopplers, cases, and even some of those cheaper Operation skins that are the Blue Phosphor, AK Hydroponic. It's cheaper than the Dragon Lore, it's not necessarily cheap, but the field tested Dragon Lore is up only around 10% over the past 60 days, and that might seem alright, but it's not much compared to the rest of the market right now. The M4A4 Howl in field tested up around 20%, which is a bit better, but there's many more items in the game that are doing significantly better. With these super exclusive high tier items, they don't really move in price that massively, even when the rest of the market does. A lot of the newer stuff has taken precedent over them. I still think they're great long-term holds. I've had a Dragon Lore since it was like $2,000, now it's $7,200, so I can't complain, and I still think it has a ton of room to run up in price, but they don't move as quickly as other items, as you'll see. So at number 3, Dopplers and Gem Knives. Dopplers and Gem Knives have received a huge buff in CS2. Valve completely changed the way most of them look, specifically Phase 2 Dopplers, which have become some of the most sought after knives in the game. The Butterfly Phase 2 reaching $11,600 currently, which for comparison is more expensive than an M9 Sapphire. Well, there's almost 2.5 the amount of Butterfly Phase 2s as there is M9 Sapphires. But not just Phase 2s have blown up. Nearly all Dopplers and Gamma Dopplers across the board have as well. And not only that, all of them are pretty much up double digits, if not triple digits, in just the past 60 days, except for Sapphires because they kind of look the exact same as Phase 4s. But either way, Dopplers are undoubtedly the most sought after paint finish in the game right now. Is the demand justified though? Honestly, I'd say yes. Let's look at the Butterfly Doppler. It's only dropped in 2 cases, the Spectrum case and the Spectrum 2 case. Currently on the Steam market, there's less than 10,000 of these cases listed combined. And on top of that, The Spectrum case is $6.50, the Spectrum 2 case around $4.85. So let's crunch some crazy numbers. The chance of getting a knife is 1 in 384, and there's 30 different knives you can get from this case. So in 1 in every 11,520 cases, you'll get a butterfly Doppler. That would cost you $55,872 to open that many Spectrum 2 cases at current prices. Cases aren't 3 cents anymore, guys. They're expensive. And in my eyes, I think this justifies the insane knife prices that we're seeing, because the insane case prices kind of make it make sense. At number 2, gloves. In case you haven't noticed, you can't afford gloves anymore unless you're a Saudi oil prince. A large reason for this and the price increase is the fact that the glove case has gotten to be so expensive. You could note that with Vice gloves, for example, that are in the clutch case and the Revolution case, not the glove case, they really haven't had great returns. So when I say gloves are performing well, I'm only really talking about the gloves that are in the glove case and the Operation Hydra case, that collection. I can go back to the same logic that we used with the Dopplers and gem knives, but all you need to know is that as long as the case is super expensive, and it always will be as these gloves are not getting re-released, that the gloves will be super expensive as well. Does that mean you should buy right now when they're up over 100% in the past 60 days? Personally, I wouldn't. I'd wait for a pullback, but these are another item in the game with pretty much perfect fundamentals. And a very expensive case, not that many of these gloves really exist, as unlike Dopplers that are 90% factory new and around 10% minimal wear, gloves are already from battle scarred to factory new, so there's not as many good looking gloves out there. Less than 6,000 pairs of Crimson kimonos, for example, from field tested to factory new. I don't think that's crazy. Comparing it to a Butterfly Doppler Phase 4, which only has 2,500 in existence, but is only $800 more expensive. And finally, number 1, of course, I gotta go with cases. They're essentially the perfect investment that benefits from CS's growth no matter what. Open up the Steam market and select any case that's in the rare drop pool right now, and you'll not only see that the skins in it have increased immensely, but the case itself has had mind-boggling returns. Something like the Breakout case, even up from 3 cents all the way back in the day. Something to note with these cases is they are still technically dropped. They're in what's called the rare drop pool. It's estimated there's a 1% chance for any case in the rare drop pool, and there's currently 31% different cases in there. So a 0.03% chance to receive any given one during your drop every week. They're coming into the game so infrequently that the number is pretty much completely negatable. With the Gamma case, for example, we're seeing more bought on the market now than there are currently listed in the past 24 hours. There's so much demand for these cases, even when they're still so expensive, and with less cases in the game, it's going to mean less of those knives coming in. So all around, cases are incredible for investors and holders. Rare drop cases with a lot of demand will always be a solid investment in CS2. Of course, I would recommend staying away from active drop cases and cases that are in the armory, as they are of course still coming into supply, so they can't really be investments. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. Check out Skins Monkey, link at the top of the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.